I hope this information is enlightening. You're getting empowered. You're feeling great about yourself, your sense of self-worth, your sense of self-esteem. Because the reality is, when you're able to connect to your origins, that makes you more powerful as a human being, as an individual, as well as a community. So let's take a look at Black Panther Part 4. We left off on a matriarchal society, and that's a society that esteems its women. If you have a society that does not esteem its women, then that society is probably going to either be chaotic, it's going to be primitive, but it definitely will not be advanced. And on that note, I'm going to take a pause for a second. I'm thinking about some of the music that we have in our community that calls women certain names. As we're protesting, as we're rioting, as we're demonstrating, we need to be demonstrating also against these record labels and against these people who denigrate women, particularly women of color, specifically Black women. So if we're going to say we want to march for humanity and we want equity, then we need to stop denigrating our sisters, because when we do that, we allow human traffickers to take place. It allows crime to take place against our sisters. And therefore, when that happens, we've already dehumanized them. So it's easy for other people to do the same thing. So men, we have to take accountability for uplifting our women, for uplifting our young girls and our communities as well. So let's get right back to a matriarchal society. So Nakia, you remember Nakia, when Princess Shuri said, "Do not freeze." And he said, "I will not freeze." As soon as he saw this Black queen, he went, "Nakia." And Dora Milaje had to come and kick some behind. So Nakia was an Omega woman. What does this mean? So many women out here saying, "I'm an alpha female, I'm an alpha female." Listen, later for you, you tired, you old. What we need is Omega females. What does this mean? God said, "In the beginning, I created heaven and earth. I was the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end." So if we have men who are alpha men, we don't need an alpha woman. We need an Omega woman, because she is the completion. She is the whole. And she is so much more powerful than an alpha. She's strong. She's intelligent. As a matter of fact, don't let me tell you. Let me show you. She's loyal to nation. She's multilingual. She's confident. She has high self-esteem. She's smart and intelligent. She's not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. She also respects tradition. All right. She's world traveled. She's a visionary. This means that she can see things that are not and create it, because she has that kind of power on the inside of her. She also values herself. She loves herself and her king. She's also beautiful. She's Black. So remember now, I don't want my white sisters, my Hispanic sisters say, "Do I need to be Black?" Nope. You can be an Omega woman without that. But remember, this is the Black series. So I want to focus on what we're focusing on. Let's take a look here. She was a warrior, yet she was still loving and kind. She had to remind T'Challa who she was, because he wanted him to give up everything for her. But she was like, "No, king, I have things to do. I have a purpose on this planet." So you have to know your purpose. And here's something interesting. Before you try to hook up with someone or get with someone or date, marry, whatever you do, you need to know your purpose. Because Dr. Miles Monroe said, if you don't know the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. So if you don't know what you've been put on this planet for, you don't know what that person's been put on this planet for, chances are you guys are going to abuse each other. I know. I didn't even think I was going to talk about all of this. All right. She also could touch the king's heart with her words. Listen to me. An intelligent woman doesn't have to sit here and go toe to toe with a man, because you are a woman. You're actually more powerful than we are. We don't want you to know that, because then the game will be over instantly. So it's not trying to outman the man, but know who you are. Get in contact with your heart. All right. She was also able to impact his mind. She was a change agent. This sister was handling her business. She was independent, yet she understood the power of love and being emotionally connected. I can stop right here on this slide alone as we're talking about matriarchy, but I won't, because we have so much more. Are y'all getting this information? I'm telling you, man, I'm feeling y'all. I'm feeling you. All right, let's keep going. Princess Shuri. Now, she wasn't as old as Nakia, but she was innovative. She was brilliant. She was confident. She had self-esteem, she had pride, she was faithful, she was smart, and she had values. How many of our young girls lack these things? So therefore, if we're not teaching as adults our young people to value these things, then they won't have them as children. And that's why so many of our young people are being taken care of. So let's keep talking about the Black Panther. Let's keep talking about matriarchy, okay? The kingdom of Dahomey. Now, the Dora Milaje were real warriors in the movie, but there's also real female warriors in Africa. In the kingdom current day Benin, it was called the kingdom of Dahomey back in the day. This gentleman here, he had women warriors. Also in Libya, Omar Gaddafi had female warriors as well. So this is nothing new. So what we saw in the Black Panther by the Dora Milaje, these were real warriors. And again, Ryan Coogler, my man, you are so awesome. Thank you for your level of brilliance that you were able to bring this to the screen. Who are the Dora Milaje? Now, these were some alpha women for sure. They were intelligent, powerful, loyal, faithful, protectors, community focused, and beautiful warriors. When she went toom toom, somebody was gonna get that woo woo that you know was gonna come, right? Woo, that thing was hot. Toom toom, protect the king. Yeah. Anyway, let me get back to what we're talking about. All right, let's read with me. The Maasai tribe, an ethnic group native to Kenya and Tanzania, were one of the influences for the type of costume worn by the Dora Milaje female warriors, who are protectors of the Black Panther and his royal family. Maasai women seen here are known for wearing the shuka, or the red sheet surrounded by beaded jewelry. Another inspiration for the Dora Milaje were the Himba tribe of women. Okay, so let's take a look at the Himba tribe. We see here, well, actually, hold on before we get there. These are other Maasai warriors. And as you can see here, Kenya is right over here and West Africa. And once again, I've had the pleasure of visiting Kenya, and it was a remarkable experience. And actually, in my home in Chicago, I actually have a Maasai staff where I traded one of the chiefs for my iPod because he wanted, I'm like, man, you can take this iPod, I want your stick. So he was probably thinking, why would you trade for this? But I was thinking, why would you trade for this? But anyway, as you can see by the beautiful headdress, and then as you can see here, look at how consistent they were. The headdress, the beads, okay? All right, let's keep going. The Himba. These are the Himba tribes. You remember this part when they were going to have the challenge, would you like to challenge the king? You knew doggone well he wasn't going to challenge T'Challa because he ain't ready. I can look at him until he ain't ready. However, look at this. So here they mix clay in their hair, and they also put clay on their skin because it actually serves as a sun protectant. So this is the Himba tribe. Now, there was the queen. Who was the queen? Queen Ramonda, all right? First of all, take a look at her headdress. I'm going to explain that in a second because this is something very truthful as well, but we'll get back to that. She was loving, caring queen mother. She was raising a man and a woman, not a boy and a girl, which means she was raising them from birth to take over the kingdom. Parents, my question to you is, what are you raising? How are you raising them? She provided guidance and direction. She provided discipline and structure. And discipline doesn't always mean whooping that child, because Manushka Santil in our conversations with DB, she already told us that beating is not always the best way, and sometimes that's an adage from European slavery. Also, she set expectations and she spoke life. What do I mean by that? Remember when T'Chaka was getting that hiney whooped by the Dogon king, and who came out, she said, show him who you are. And all of a sudden, T'Chaka got his strength. I'm telling you, man, it's something about your mama's words. It's something about your mama speaking that life into you and not death. It gives you the power to resurrect. So this is what we need to do as a people. We need to start speaking life to each other. We need to start lifting each other up and raising each other up. So remember when I just told you about the headdress? Where was this headdress influenced? Look at this right here. It was influenced by the Zulu. So all of these characters, all of these costumes, everything were real African tribes, and some of them are still in existence today. Won't you read with me? Traditionally worn to affirm their marriage status, Zulu women wore elaborate headdresses like this worn on a Zulu woman. The headdress is made of beadwork and can also include cotton, dried grass, and human hair covered in red ochre. So when we see here the Zulu nation, they were in Southern or South Africa. And one thing you can do is YouTube, or not even YouTube, but even on Netflix, Shaka Zulu, King of the Zulus. He was a very powerful warrior in Africa who was major in trying to keep the British out of South Africa. So one thing we want to do is understand that even though much of Africa, almost all of Africa was colonized, they didn't just get it easily. Many people fought and died. So that's the end of day 4. Let's get ready for part 5.